All right, guys, the MLB playoff best ball contest lock on Wednesday this week, which means I have one more chance to get some entries in on stream. We did some drafts with Dark Sheep a few weeks ago in the Dinger, and today we are going to do my solo shot contest. This is the $75 single entry here on Off and on the Clock. I got John and Nez as my co-pilots. Let's do it. All right, guys. Apparently the people are ready to draft. We didn't even have to do an announcement. We didn't have to tag people. They are just to draft some baseball right now, guys.
Dude, this is awesome. John and I did our solo shots this weekend in the same lobby together, and it was such a loaded room. It was just like it was hardly fun.
Just a bunch
coincidence.
Zach Davis was actually bat signaling, so I think people rushed in.
What kind of are you guys ramping up your volume? What are you guys trying to get in before lock?
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to get to max. I don't think it's going to happen, but the haters and losers need to hear now that I got to 100 over the weekend there, Nez. I had 12 to do over the weekend to make sure I got to 100. So we're up at like 102 now. So I'm pushing for that 120 mark now. I think I'm going to sit out NBA today, and I'm going to make sure I get kind of like 5 a day in for the next 2.5 days kind of deal.
Nice. Yeah, love that. Glad to hear that you got past the century mark there. I'm at 145, so last 5, and I'll probably finish tomorrow. I think I got enough time to finish tomorrow. But yeah, it's been fun, man. Honestly, it's been a lot of fun. This drafting landscape has been pretty efficient, I think, for the most part. And then there's just been like some surprising demotions and injury news that shook things up at the very end there. So excited to capitalize on these new environments. Notably, Peter, one of my highest drafted players, Connor Griffin, it was announced he's not going to start the season in Pittsburgh. Meaning
he's gonna be in the minors to start.
Yeah, but it's not. It's not awesome, but it's not like we don't expect to see him soon.
Mm-hmm. It's the equivalent of he's running behind this. The RB2 we drafted is actually the RB3.
Yes,
camp. It's like that equivalent.
Yeah, exactly. Just a little bit of slow start.
All right, we're on the clock at 106 here. Bobby Witt Jr., Kyle Tucker, Julio Rodriguez, Tatis. What do you guys like?
Big flat tier here. If you want to play the, I don't know how many sickos we got in here. I think you can get away with taking Bobby Witt here for sure, and playing the infield up top narrative.
I agree. Let's do some Bobby Witt. I don't do a lot of Bobby Witt.
We'll take Bobby Witt. I assume, Nez, when you say you don't do it, it's just you're worried about getting buried at the outfield avalanche?
Yeah, big time. And also, like, RNG also doesn't put, like, I literally haven't even had a ton of opportunities to fade Bobby Witt. I honestly, like, RNG just hasn't really put him at the top of my queue hardly at all, strangely. But, yeah, even with that, like, I usually go Kyle Tucker over Bobby Witt, but it's a toss-up.
Yeah, I mean, if the Roto Bros come into our environment, the first thing they'll notice is, holy shit, Bobby Witt goes behind Kyle Schwarber. Like, it's eye popping from the other side of things, because Bobby Witt belongs in that top 3, top 4 tier. It's just the positional scarcity aspect of things.
Interesting. I will say, Nez, your personal brand has to be strong, because I want to say, even in Best Ball Breakfast, when I said we were doing this show, I saw mentions of Connor Griffin, and I obviously didn't know what it meant.
Yeah. Is that a fresh Connor Griffin in the mail there, Pete? Or, I mean, that's...
I wish. No, we're going to wait. I don't even know what number he's going to be. He was like 70-something in the minors. This is, I don't know if you watched the No Strip when I was talking about this jersey. This is a Key Brian Hayes. So I got this on eBay, real cheap. Like 25, maybe $30 after shipping. And, the picture is like, oh, nice. This is beautiful. And it comes in the mail and it's stained. It has a giant stain on it.
What?
And I was like, bro, I'm like, what? Like, what's your deal? I was like, kind of like aggressive. I'm like, you sent me. I was like, look at this picture. There's a giant stain on it. And he's like, oh, you need to be like, you got to investigate the product more in the picture. Like, look at your I sent you a side by side. Look at these pictures. I'm like, this is crazy. And so he ended up sending me a partial refund and put a little bit of Dawn on that, and it came right out.
Wow.
Cheeky bastard.
But it's the principle, like, dude, it was like one of his first sales on eBay. I'm like, bro, this is not how. I'm like, let me tell you as a vet, this is not how we do things on the bay. Okay, you gotta if there's a stain, show it. You gotta show it. I gotta know what I'm buying.
I love the maturity here, Nez, of you evolving to the point of like buying old players that we liked for cheap. I fucking love it.
I have a lot of trouble buying like a current player's jersey, especially someone who's younger than me. I struggle with that. So, but Hayes was different, like, because like Hayes like wasn't that good. So it's like way more fun to buy a jersey of somebody who's either like no longer on the team, older than me, or like not good. So those are the qualifications.
Very untold story here, Pete. The very first time that Nez and I met was at that ship chasing meetup in Vegas, and we actually had like a day to ourselves prior to everyone else getting together. And he's like, dude, we got to get a little action down before we watch some of these games. And we bet Brian Hayes MVP, and we bet Brian Hayes home run for that day together or something like that. It was pretty good.
Pirates lost. And you might be shocked to hear Key Bryan did not homer.
Yeah.
We had Mitch Keller outs too, and he missed it. We got hooked.
All right, we start with Bobby Witt Jr. We are about to pick at 2-7. Guerrero goes off the board. Are we grabbing an outfielder here or something else?
I'm team Jackson Chourio here. I think Gunner's the best player on the board, but it really puts us in a tough spot. What would you vote, Nez?
No, I think we should eat our vegetables here with Chourio. He's, I think a really safe bet, and like it's fun to kind of like push the outfield stuff, but definitely not advisable, especially like the tier that's about to get wiped away from us, like by the time we pick again. So yeah, I like Chourio. Chourio is interesting, goes behind James Wood right now. And like, I think Chourio is just a much safer bet, but Wood higher ceiling. Like the thing with Chourio is like, back-to-back 2020 years, and as far as home runs and steals go. And he just turned 21, I think. Right. Like we're just turned 22.
The irony in saying like we're taking our vegetables here, like we're talking about a dude who's like monster ceiling potential, like could easily be a 30-30 guy this year because he missed time in both of his first two seasons as well.
Was he did we pass on him with Dark Sheep, who's a Brewers fan?
I think so.
Yeah, that's so funny that we have him on and we overruled him on his guy, and then he's not on stream, and we're just like,
Did we overrule him, or I actually thought he like went a different route, and I was kind of surprised.
He might have overruled himself.
Yeah, it was his doing, because I was definitely team like let's build a Dark Sheep team, and he didn't even pick his own guy. I was kind of shocked.
There you go.
I want to hit on like just a few things here that I'm noticing. New alpha for Roman Anthony being pulled up to where Steven took him on the right-hand side of the board there. Love your thoughts on that, Nez. And then the 3v3 in the middle here of Bobby Witt Chourio, Schwarber Gunner, Tucker Vlad. Which is your favorite of those three infield outfield pairings in the middle of the board?
I would probably say the Tucker Vlad, but that's like a little bit of a cop out. If Bobby Witt Bobby Witt has such a crazy ceiling, but you really need that to hit. I just prefer the Tucker Vlad, but the Roman Anthony to the 1-2 turn. I mean, in principle, I absolutely get it. Like, who knows with these guys? Like, you might as well just like take who you want. It's a pretty flat tier, but the combos that exist with the Roman Anthony already are just so good that it doesn't feel great after this round. And also it's just like so obviously a WBC bump, like you see this guy play and he like does well. And then you're like, oh yeah, like he's really good. It's just like, you see it every time the WBC happens. All right. Tough
back on the clock
pick here.
Yeah, Pete, this one's on you, man. PCA is a guy that all the analytic bros hate, but scored a bunch of fantasy points last year and could be really, really fun. Junior Camanero's like huge breakout for power last year, but moving to a bad park. Francisco Lindor's the tried and true vet.
I mean, Pete, let's do it. Great name, PCA, yep. Great nickname. And you said the analytic bros hate him. I mean, that just checks every box for me.
Yeah, Cardi would probably tell you this guy's like a 10th round pick.
Oh, even better. Man, yeah, I respect Cardi's analysis for 1 week out of the year. Week 18, he's my go-to quant. And otherwise, I want to aggressively counter trade him.
Yeah. I've been doing a little bit more PCA too as I finish these drafts, just like getting a little FOMO. Like, what if this guy just is really good at baseball and and he's pretty easy to stack too. The Cubs should be a good offense, so definitely getting a little worried that Pete Crow Armstrong might just be the man.
Yeah, and his mom with some acting chops there, Pete, was the mother in Little Big League. Beautiful baseball classic that people forget about because everybody talks about Rookie of the Year and that sort of stuff. Little Big League was the truth when we were kids.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely another feather in his cap there. And what I mean, does their family have any other baseball ties, or is that just a coincidence that she was in a baseball movie and then had? That's
I actually don't know. Yeah, that might just be full coincidence.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that inspired him.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's never even seen it.
So cringe to watch mom on screen.
Yeah.
Dude, your mom's so good in that film. Shut up, dude.
She was kind of like the sexy mom too, where one of the players started dating her and stuff too. So that must be a tough watch for him.
The sexy mom.
Ashley Crow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The mom from Little Big League. Okay. There you go. There she is. And I'll tell you who Derek Carty is going to be eating some crow with his Pete Crow ranking here at the end of the year. What's the did Mookie Betts used to be like a first round pick? What happened to Mookie?
Yeah, I lost some swing speed stuff last year because he was ill.
Literally, yeah, like very, very sick.
All right, we're on the
positional changes.
Here, guys.
I'd stack up Ian Happ. It's kind of like an oatmeal pick there. But if you want to have fun, you take Mookie Betts and then hope Teoscar comes back to you.
Yeah.
I'm ready to say
do
Mookie
it.
Betts
Do it.
He's had some chicken noodle soup. He's been, mainlining the bone broth. He's been nursed back to health. And I'm going to see if I can get a first round talent in round 4.
Love it.
Yeah. No, that's fun. He's definitely like a great value pick right now for sure. Just all the regression and even projections would tell you that he's due for a bit of a bounce back. I think you can easily point to that illness and then look at the rest of his career and call it a valid excuse.
Okay. No Bo Sox asking, is anyone else stacking a bit less this year than in previous years?
I think Nez and I are going to have very different answers on this one.
I might be stacking even more.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, me too. I might be stacking even more.
I stack a lot, man. I definitely stack to a fault. Like I'm flat for the most part across all of my exposures, but or flat-ish, I should say. But yeah. I love a stack. I can't get away from it.
What is the dynamic that he's hinting at of why maybe drafters would be stacking less or inclined to do so?
Maybe a game theory angle would be that like it's become so prevalent that there's just so much more overlapping in the combos, or just the way ADPs line up this year that maybe they're not as stackable in years past. But I'm more of the notion of like I don't force it necessarily, but I'm definitely like if I'm ending my drafts with like an unstacked tack on infielder, I'm like, damn, I fucked up somewhere. Like, like I messed up. I shouldn't have got to this position where I have to fill my last spot uncorrelated, just because the power of correlation, we'll talk about it this week as we dive back into daily baseball slates. Like the power of just lifting your lineup as a whole is just unmatched to any other sport.
Mm-hmm.
So we're about to pick at 5-6. Man who just got referenced on the pit, O'Neal Cruz, comes off the board at 5-5. John, who should we do here?
Yeah, I think the thesis came together, and you take Teoscar here, and it's a little bit of vegetable with ceiling with this setup. The fun, sexy would be Jack Caglione to go alongside Bobby Witt, but I think he already did that with the PCA pick.
You like this, Nez?
Yep. Yeah, this is where I'm at. We might even get Cags to come back to us, but he's another WBC guy who was playing well. So he's gotten like a huge bump. And also his underlying numbers are really, really strong. Like he hits the ball as hard as literally anybody in the league. So I think that's kind of like buoying him up a bit too. Just to put another point about the stacking that I'm doing this year, is like I'm getting even like more gal brain with my stacks. And I think I've mentioned this before, where like I am stacking players that like hit from the same side of the plate. Like I'm like way less inclined to stack righties and lefties as I am to stack like 2 righties or 2 lefties and just kind of play a platoon angle when those guys do pop.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So we have 2 infielders, 3 outfielders here. I do have to say, you mentioned the World Baseball Classic. Did you guys do any of the Omni fantasy drafts this year?
I wish.
I had my first win. I took the DR like fairly early, but then I got huge value on Venezuela, and
that's awesome.
And then so I actually was a little more tuned in to the WBC than I normally would be, as I was kind of secretly rooting against our red, white, and blue there for Venezuela to give me those.
I kind of was too. It was way more fun to see them win, to be honest.
It just looked like it meant so much to like the country, to the fans, etc.
Yeah.
The Omni stuff might be flipped on its head already, because NASCAR's seen something they haven't seen in years, where Tyler Reddick won 4 of the first 6 races now.
Whoa.
And he was like we're back up, Pete.
Altuve, Trout, Harris are the outfielders. Vinny.
Let's go. Let's go get Vinny P, baby.
Yeah, let's go
get Vinny P.
Let's get Vinny P. There's so many reasons why to do this. Like 1, of course, the stack. 2, the Royals moved their fences in, so Vinny P could be like live to hit 40 bombs this year. And 3, and most importantly, Vinny P saw John go tarps off at the dog bowl.
That's that dude?
Yeah.
Oh, I love this pick now even more. You're right.
Actually, this roster has big Pete tie-ins right now. You know, you get Mookie Betts, like originally had some, Boston Red Sox stuff in there, right? And then we got the double KC guys. Bobby Witt was at the dog bowl hitting in the cage below us as we were drafting and streaming. And then Vinny P came to the actual one. So our whole infield is Pete correlated right now. Not to mention we have a Pete on the team already. So this is all coming together.
But now you have to find 14 more picks that not only correlate with our team, but correlate with some kind of tie-in to me. It's now, the 7 degrees of
Peter
Ken Ben Bacon or whatever it is.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Who's the Dalton Schultz of the Dinger this year?
That's right. Okay, so are we doing good structurally here? 3 infielders, 3 outfielders?
Yep. Yeah, this is pretty good to start. I'm definitely thinking pitcher for this next pick. It's sort of like an outfield dead zone here. I think you could articulately call it. I mean, other than John's
goes.
This is where I would pound the table for Framber Valdez.
Me too.
Talk to me about this pitcher.
Yeah, so he's just been like a quality starts monster for the last like 3 years. He's been a beacon of health. He doesn't like overextend in his throwing process, because he's like a mid-90s lefty. So we like him from like a health and injury standpoint. We like that he's moving to a equally competitive team in a really good place to pitch as well. Like he's just a perfect combination of floor and median to start your pitching staff with when you miss on all the upper echelon aces.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. He's awesome, like stylistically. Like he doesn't get deep into innings like at all. His pitch count's always really solid. So you get, like John said, great quality start equity and win equity with him too. Yeah, he got an awesome landing spot in Detroit.
Nice.
It's one big thing that people forget about when they pivot from like the daily stuff to this is like, yeah, strikeouts and ratios and all this stuff is like really great in terms of other scoring formats. On ours, like wins and quality starts are like they're worth like 2 extra innings of like multiple strikeouts. So like just the fact that he's going to be in line for like something like, let's call it 15 wins this season, and the fact that he had like the longest quality start streak in all of baseball the last 2 years, it just kind of gives you that like rising tide for your pitching staff.
Nice. Yeah, Beastburf with the suggestion. Yeah, if you want some more hometown ties, you can give me
easy.
I mean, are the Rockies going to be like? Aren't they generationally bad? Like just as a franchise right now,
they're down in the dumps, but they're going to be better than last year.
Okay,
considering they were like one of the worst teams of all time last year.
And I got a comp for you in a second here. Let's make this pick here.
Yeah. OTC.
Michael Garcia, just like keep stacking it, or do you want to go Nolan McLean?
Yeah, I would go Mikel McLean or Ramos as the end of a tier.
I think Mikel is a lot of fun, dude. The top of this order, this team could be sick.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Kaufman maxing here.
Yeah.
Right.
Garcia is a bit of a breakout too. He was on that Venezuela team, so there's another Pete tie-in as well.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So real quick, here's the team. We got Framber Valdez at pitcher. We got this KC infield stack with Bobby Witt, Vinny, and Mikel Garcia. We got Mookie Betts as well. And then our 3 outfielders, Churio, PCA, and Teoscar Hernandez.
Strong start with the names.
Did I?
Yeah,
you did.
It's a strong start. I think we can kind of pump the brakes on infield for a little bit here. Yeah, everybody in the chat is telling you that WBC MVP Mikel Garcia there.
Like we might not take an infield until our last 2 picks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, nice. McLean comes all the way back. Let's get it.
That's sick.
Our guy.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, McLean or Kirby is fine here. McLean's the ceiling of the 2 of them. Kirby's kind of like the good team, good park, hope for the best. But McLean, another WBC tie-in there too.
We should have mentioned, obviously this is the single entry contest, only 720 entries, 4 of 12 advance, and then it's 3 of 12, 3 of 10, 18 seat final. Is there any calibration to your guys' strategy from the Dinger that you're doing differently in this contest?
I toyed with this notion and then didn't end up executing it in the draft that we did. That the format actually suggests that it's probably a little bit better for 866 builds where you don't need as much to advance throughout. Like you don't need ceiling outcome. You just need healthy bodies in the playoffs of like good players, and backstacking your pitching to just be like the only guy to get 2 starts in a small field contest. The 2 starts are worth more. It's a little gal brain and it's imperfect anyways. So I just kind of was like 7-7-6 was fine.
I kind of had the inverse thought where I went 6-7-7 with mine, and went pitcher heavy just because I wasn't so worried about like the 2 start weeks in the finals, because it's only like 13 teams in the finals, and I don't think that's going to be a prerequisite to win is having multiple 2 start weeks. Like in the Dinger, it's an absolute must. Like you truly, I believe, are just like DOA if you are not like luck boxing multiple 2 start weeks. I hear with the small finals, I don't think it matters as much.
Yeah.
All right,
Pete, let's see what we're working with here.
Yeah. Chapman, Yandy, Connor Griffin at infield, but you said Kyle. Yeah, talk to me.
I like Bradish as like end of tier, start of next tier.
Okay.
But like Bradish and King stand out to me. Could also do like a Colton Cowser or Willer Abreu.
I like Abreu a lot.
Okay, go Abreu then.
Okay.
One of these pitchers.
That Boston tie-in. Need somebody to root for when I go to my 1 game at Fenway a year, guys.
Also gives you some backstack Boston stuff some nice price tags on some guys still.
Okay.
Yeah.
They are infielders, but yeah. Well, one's an outfielder.
244. It is funny listening to you guys talk about the difference or, changing your strategy for the single entry. Cause I feel like it's the same kind of like mind fuck with the football stuff when you're looking at the more advanced. Cause it's like, oh, then I want to go even heavier on like these early season points and like just lock in the floor. But then you're also like, it's easier to advance. So maybe I thread that needle and I go thinner and I build the juggernaut for the late stage. And it's like, you can make the argument on either side.
Yeah.
Where did Strider go in this one? Has he gone yet?
What's his last name?
Yep.
Oh, there he is.
2-hole. No badge.
Yeah. So early round 9.
Yeah, someone was saying it in the chat. B-Smurf was saying it in the chat there. I mean, I was kind of low-key out on it when I saw the velo stuff, and I kind of had a soft fade, which is just aged nicely for me. But he just got an oblique thing. He's going to start on the IL. He had a bad year last year. The velo was down. It's a really tough. Easy did some research today saying that like 74 days on the IL is kind of like the time frame here. I don't know. I think it's like a legit conversation if you'd rather have Hunter Green or Strider right now. Like it's not, but it's like kind of that damning in my mind. I'm going to have him at like past the Blake Snell range for my last runs here, like SP 50, something like that. So I'm probably done with him.
Yeah, I'm done.
So King is still in the queue. I think we're holding off on infield. Any other outfielders that would enter the conversation?
Yeah, I would actually throw my hat in the ring here for Doyle. Like I really like Doyle, and it sets up some infielders that I like as well. Gives you that Colorado tie-in. But I'll hear you out, Nez, if you have a better plan.
No, let's do. I don't draft a lot of Doyle, so.
All right.
Yeah, I just view him as like his glove keeps him in there every single day. He's going to hit in the middle of the order. He's one of the guys that they also trust that is also a development guy. He also had some, I think it was death in the family last year, mental health stuff that led to him missing some time. And like, he's talked about like being like in a better set. And we got a little bit of scare that he got hit on the hand I think it was hit on the hand in the middle of spring there, but MRI's back clean. He's been playing ever since. It like a outside shot at 2020, good speed, okay power, big ballpark team that scores a lot of runs kind of thing.
Yep. Yeah, he should have a better year than last year. The one thing that just worries me is like the year before last year, he was so bad. And then, kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, here's Brenton Doyle again. Like he's back. We were drafting this guy really high last year, but it's a good price. Like you said, the glove absolutely keeps him on the field. That took a bit of a dip, but you could be onto something with everything that you said.
Yeah, this is where my head went to. I shouted out no Doyle rules in my head. Josh is asking about projections. I think we talked about this a little bit last time. He's mentioning using stochastic projections. He just has any suggestions on what projections you guys rely on, if any, for drafting.
In a vacuum, baseball projections don't matter because the outcomes are like they give you a good sense of like who the good stacks are and who the usual performers are. But like every single day, you're just going to see like Judge, Tatis, Ohtani all at the top. And then you're going to see the stacks with middle of the order hitters come up behind. So they're a good like barometer, but like the gold standard is Cardi and Bad X, and it's mainly for pitching. But that being said, like our game is kind of a punt pitcher thing. So they're like a good baseline for understanding, but I think you can do so much more with just like having Ballpark Pal for $10 a month and just being like, here's the weather, here's the implied run totals, here's what we think the lineups are going to look like today, and coming to your own conclusions based on archetypes of hitters.
Yeah.
Okay. We are back on the clock here. We do have a Colorado infielder at the top, Kerry Carpenter, Dylan Cruz at outfield. What should we be looking at?
Yeah, I'm good with Goodman there. I'm also good with Wilson Contreras if he's there. Fine with Story, fine with Matt McClain. Nez, who do you like?
Nez.
Let's do Goodman since we're committed to this Doyle pick.
Okay.
I was leaving the light on so the reason I take Doyle is for Tovar. I really like Tovar. I think Tovar's mispriced. Tovar's another like 2020 guy that's going to hit in the middle of the lineup. Had a really good WBC, but we can still add him like 100%.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess the one thing we were saying how we could like really punt infield after devoting so much capital to it early, but like the correlation stuff kind of tilts it back in that direction there.
Yeah. And I mean, like Goodman's going to do some catching, some DH, some first base kind of thing, and he's going to get up to like that 600 plate appearance threshold and hit in the middle of the order damn near every single day in that lineup. So it's like it's a really safe correlation in terms of like 3-4 hitter, like that kind of thing. There are definitely some like fringier ones where it's like these guys correlate, but they don't like correlate to the strongest degree. If all things break right for Doyle and Goodman, they correlate to the strongest like nth percentile.
Okay, cool. How are we looking, would you say here? Are we behind on outfield relative to what you'd normally be comfortable with? Or we're in good shape?
No, we're smashed.
Yeah, we're good. Okay, pitcher here. I would probably throw my hat in the ring for Suarez or Gallen. Who do you like here?
Suarez is one of my highest owned, so I like Suarez over Gallen.
Okay.
Gallen it's fallen off so hard. Nobody wanted to pay him. Then he took a team-friendly deal to come back. Like Suarez moving parks isn't my favorite thing in the world because some righties are going to take him over that monster this year for sure. But he's just been a model of consistency, and he's in the middle of that rotation.
Yeah. I just gotta hope that his batted ball profile plays up there.
And I know I've asked you guys this before, but the correlations between infielder and outfielder, or just any of those, are stronger than between, team pitcher and then one of these positional players. But is there still merit in pitcher infielder correlation, or in our case, outfielder?
In a vacuum over the entirety of a season, not really. But in one isolated day, absolutely. So like, it's just positive. It's like if your offense pops off, like your pitcher's more likely to then get a win, get a quality start, etc. So there's like minute correlation in that, but it's stuff we talk about in the daily lens more than the season long one, because it's really hard to like forecast. Maybe it's like in a 1v1, like maybe it's like a fraction of a point, but it's not enough to sway it each time. Where it comes into play is pairing two from the same team.
Two pitchers from the same team, yeah. Yeah,
sorry. Two pitchers from the same team to give yourself outs at more starts in an isolated week.
Yeah, we're trying to solve for that. We don't know. Like, I think Easy's tried to do some simulations, and it was pretty noisy. Nothing really, like, stuck out there. But I think I agree with the thesis where if you take more than one pitcher in a staff, like, you are increasing your odds, theoretically, of one of those guys having a 2-start week, because, like, someone in a rotation is going to have a 2-start week. We don't know who. So you're just kind of giving yourself an out at a greater chance of one of your guys having a 2-start week. And I buy that.
Nice. What you had mentioned when you were talking about projections, Ballpark Pal, and Yosh references it here as well as being a great deal. What is that exactly for people who don't know?
Just kind of like overarching simulations of the day, and then they do weather. So we don't have Roth anymore. So weather will be a big proponent of tapping in like that. They do implied run totals. They do home run odds relative to matchup on a given day. It's just kind of like a nice and tidy spot that came out of nowhere. Like when we started referencing it on the show, it had like 2K followers, and now it's got like 100K, and it's like kind of like hey, you just need this. Like,
yeah, it's they have projections for like anything. Like if you want to do pick'ems, you can like easily like find like a projection via the simulations that you can, apply to the pick'em lobbies too. Like $10 for this stuff is like,
it's wild.
It's way too cheap. It's way too cheap.
Do we Jordan Beck with our Colorado stuff? We grab another pitcher. What do you guys think?
I think we don't want to fall behind any further at pitcher, and I would suggest Edward Cabrera is kind of like a ceiling plus reliable arm thesis. What do you think, Nez?
Yeah, I'm good with Cabrera. I will say I did take a Savage share today because he's falling, and he's not going to start the season with the team because he's hurt, but he is throwing in the minors like tomorrow or something. So he's not too far behind, it sounds like.
I just had a soft innings cap on him like all off season. Like I didn't draft him at all just because I know the ceiling's there. Yeah, it's just like I know the ceiling's there, but like innings just matter so much. And if they're back weighted, that's great. But like, man, just starting with the threshold of like 110 as a cap, like mentally, and maybe I'm making that up, but like just from everything that I know, like I'm just like, man, I just can't build. If I had 5 pitchers right now and he's my 6th pitcher, absolutely. But like, yeah, it just doesn't fit like a build like this where it's like our 4th pitcher might only give us 100 innings and he's not starting the season for the first couple weeks. Probably not.
Yeah. To your point, projections pretty much have him right at 110. Only Steamer, the most optimistic system in the world, has him at 133. In 2025, aka last season, he threw 112. That's the most he's ever thrown in a year. He's 22 years old right now. So, yeah, you could realistically expect probably a cap on those innings just because, if you don't know like why teams don't want to just increase your innings from 112 one year to 200 the next. Like they want to gradually ramp you up. They have you for multiple years. They don't want to wear you down too fast.
All right. We are on deck here. We got a 4-5-5 picking at 15-6. Anything we should be looking at here?
So I usually would be podium Tovar here and just like end that Colorado stack and outfield. But if you want to leave the light on for like doing a skinny stack between an outfielder and an infielder later, we could err on the side of like Shota for like stable innings or Cade Horton for stable innings here.
Let's do Tovar. Let's have some fun.
Okay.
All right. Tell me about this guy other than playing for my beloved Colorado Rockies.
Good prospect.
Yeah. Really good prospect. Still kind of young. Gold Glove shortstop that keeps him in the lineup. It's a very similar bet to Doyle, and they're positively correlated together, and they play in the best run-scoring environment in baseball outside of maybe Sacramento now. We're not 100% sure on that.
Wait, who plays in Sacramento?
The A's
do now.
Oh, wow. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of their price tags are big time up there. They're good ball players, but they're also like add 5 home runs to projection kind of vibes.
And are they doing like, have they just dropped the name? Like there's just no Oakland, they're just the Athletics. There's no city
Correct.
Qualifier.
They're the Athletics. ATH.
Yeah. Wow. Interesting. Yeah. Why didn't they want to adapt Sacramento? If they're going to play.
Too shameful.
Too shame. Yeah.
I think it's because they didn't want to do a bunch of merch and then just move again because they're going to Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although, is it the whole thing that these teams do with all the different colorways and all of this is like you're supposed to have excuses to come up with new things so you sell new merch over and over again?
Yeah.
Like, should you be spinning them up? And that way, in like 20 years at a garage sale, or Nez is buying on eBay stained Sacramento Athletics shirts.
That would go so hard.
Jerseys.
That would go so hard.
LED's got the real answer. Lots of trademark costs. That makes sense. Okay.
All right. Willie Castro, do you go all in on Colorado, or are we out of the Colorado business now? I actually 2 of them, Mickey up here as well.
Yeah. I mean, I think it makes a lot of sense right now. You kind of close the door on some other, stackable stuff because there's no Cubs left. There's no outfield for Milwaukee left. If you want to end your team with something stackable, taking him's fine. I'm not a huge proponent of it, though. I would take like Senga or Boyd here and just keep we only got 4 pitchers. We're going to be able to find something else that works for us.
Yeah, I'm cool with Senga. I'm ready for a Senga bounce back, man. He was so cool when he first got in the league. Got injured. I forget exactly what the injury was. And then it's just hasn't been great since. He pitched 113 last year, which I think was still more than what most people expected, but it wasn't his usual self. He wasn't striking out as many guys, but he still kept a respectable ERA about him. I think he's due for a bounce back. Really cheap too. For a guy that's healthy right now, as far as I know.
Velo's up in spring too. Like he's looked pretty good.
Do you guys want to address this comment from professional troll Agers3 Evergreen, the brothers making Pete draft the worst teams you've ever seen? When the history shows that my MLB teams that I draft on stream have been of the utmost quality, how do you guys respond to this baseless accusation?
I mean, Egger's brand has really shifted. He used to be a very endearing, supportive man of the community, and now he's seeing all of his friends have success and win around him, yet his own name never reached the top of the leaderboards despite being here every single day. So he's gone full 180 to bitter troll vibes, and it's unbecoming. It's unfortunate to see from a man that we thought so highly of.
Yeah, it's a tough. Let's make this pick, and then we can continue making fun of Eggers. Boyd is still in the queue. Anything else we should look at?
I'd say Boyd or Wallner, but I think Boyd's the better pick. Like we're running out of quality starting pitchers, and we need them.
Agreed. And you get a little bit of correlation with that Cubs stuff, which if we do want to go down that avenue of Galbrain-ness, it's probably worth more in a format like this than the Dinger to stack pitchers, because the propensity of just getting one quality start is going to be worth more in this format given the size of the final. So stacking pitchers would, in theory, play better in this format.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, so we now have 6 pitchers, 2 on the Mets, 2 Cubs there. We got our KC kind of infield onslaught, and then a couple of Colorado infielders there in Hunter Goodman and Ezekiel Tovar. And then, we're still kind of rocking our 5 outfielders. Is this kind of like, again, the wide receiver thing where it's like you get them early and then you just wait it out and round it out with some dart throws?
Absolutely. Yeah. The Jackson Churio. Let's go Jackson Churio comp. Waiting for a breakout. Still available in the second round. Nico Collins, Jackson Churio of last year in the second round, where we know the monster ceiling's available there, and we're building around, hey, Nico's going to break out this year. And then we took what would be a splashy PCA in the third round that was polarizing, like Jalen Waddle, like something like that.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good when you put it like that, though.
Sure. But it's kind of like we've made a bet.
J-Mo?
It might be yeah.
Not third round, but fourth round, same idea.
Yeah, where we've made a bet that's like it's a little dicey, but if it all breaks the right way, we're smashing and they're in the outfield slot every single day anyways, that we'll just backfill right now with some contingent or whatever.
That reminds me, Des, I need your official on-stream comment to the 9 running back team you drafted this morning.
I thought it made sense. Here, let me explain everything that was not the running back room. I had Brock Purdy and Bo Nix at quarterback. Like, I'm good. We're good. We don't need anybody else. These guys are going to be healthy. They're going to be playing. I had Colson Loveland and George Kittle at tight end. We're good. We don't need anything there. And then I started Chase, Neighbors, Sutton, and spent some capital at wide receiver. Dude, my running back 3 was like Tyrone Tracy. I needed bodies that might benefit from an injury.
It bodies you got. We are on the clock.
Keep scrolling.
I was going to say Burrows, but
hit the purple button and then. Oh, you like Burrows? If you like Burrows, take Burrows.
I think Burrows is really intriguing.
Sure. Former Pirate prospect. Didn't have a spot for him, and now he's going to get a rotation spot with the Astros.
Yeah, and I think the Astros are a smart organization, and clearly, and like they always take, players, especially from the Pirates, and like notice like what they do really well, and then just like make them spam that thing they do really well. And Burrows had really, really strong spin rates for the Pirates. Like people were really excited about Burrows when he was with the organization. So when a team like the Astros like acquire him in a trade, and given their history, like I think Burrows is going to be a really good pick.
He's it's kind of interesting. Just, super lazy, just 1-for-1 comp of like when Garrett Cole came over there, and it was like everybody was just kind of like done with Garrett Cole, and like obviously not the same level of prospect in any regard, and not the same like fastball velo and stuff, but the spin stuff, as you alluded to, like throwing 95 plus has the spin stuff it's pretty intriguing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think he's going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
So we're at a 7.65. Are we rounding this out with 2 outfielders or not that rigid?
I think like yes, like just would be my answer. Right? Yes, I would.
Mm-hmm.
What do you like, Nez?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what round 20 has for us because the outfielders are so bad that I think you might even just be better off doing something else. But
Sure.
At this pick, I like Cedric Mullins.
Okay.
Cedric
Do we have
Mullins,
anything Tampa yet?
No.
Not yet.
Okay. Is Adley Rutschman still available?
What? How do you spell that?
Adley.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm not. Let's do what Nez wants and take Mullins here. It's a good pick. Tampa Bay relies on these vet guys that don't have options anymore. He's going to get all the chances in the world. He used to be a 2020 guy. He's got some pop, whatever. Like it all makes sense to take Mullins there. Just one of these back stacks I've been kind of leaning into was like Adley or Sam Basello.
Basello went pretty early.
Yeah, like I do one of those two with Ton or with Beavers and just like do like a skinny stack because I really like the playoff schedule for Baltimore and they're just kind of like a little bit underrated right now after last year didn't go perfectly their way. So I do a small one at the end there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a fun one from Topes in the chat too.
Yeah. I don't do a lot of Polanco, but
Mets back stack there.
Yeah.
Who is this? Benjamin Polanco? What team's that? Oh, Mets.
The Mets,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we did have Mets going a little bit. I guess pitching wise. We did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'm probably making a mistake not drafting more Jorge Polanco.
I don't know. I could tell you multiple different stories. Like he remember how he was a switch hitter and he wasn't switch hitting because he was hurt that year in spring and then came back and couldn't hit from one side of the plate. And then they go on the playoff run last year and that was like his good side of the plate all of a sudden. And it was like, oh shit, he's back. So like maybe there was some health stuff. He's also moving to like a bad park. They want to contend. He doesn't have a position, like he's kind of this first base, kind of maybe a DH, kind of hybrid infield. Like it doesn't really make sense. So yeah.
All right, let's while this is going, because I think we have time. I need to be done roughly around 2, but come on, don't hit me with the
no.
Let's get in another. Jeez, you are killing me. Let's try this way. There we go. All right, we're gonna get in another dinger that snapped.
Wow, snap.
Woo.
All right. And we are on the clock with our final pick in the solo shot. What should we do here, fellas?
I would say Josh Lowe if he's still there.
He is. I just saw him right here.
Do you like that, Nez?
Yeah. Him or Tyler O'Neill.
Yeah, either or.
Let's do Lowe. Let's do Lowe. He's
okay.
Traditionally healthier.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're both kind of like, hey, please be healthy, guys, because they were former top prospects. They've moved a couple times now. Tyler O'Neill's owed a lot of money. We can pencil him in for an opening day home run.
Yep.
Seventh straight year.
Before we let me get this tab open to make sure we don't miss any picks, but let's do a final recap of this solo shot team in our next dinger. It looks like we got the 1-7, so we have a second here. Here it is, 7-6-7. This is the $75 single entry. We got Framber Valdez, Nolan McLean. I'm going to butcher these names. Ranger Suarez, Edward Cabrera, Cody Senga, Matthew Boyd, and Mike Burrows is our pitching unit here. 6 infielders: Bobby Witt, Mookie Betts, Vinny P, Maikel Garcia, Hunter Goodman, and Ezekiel Tovar. And then our outfielders, Churio, PCA, Teoscar Hernandez, Abreu, Brenton Doyle, Cedric Mullins, and Josh Lowe. Final thought / rebuttal to Eggers on this squad.
It's just a damn good team, man. I mean, that's just how you do it. It's just simply put, that's how it's done. Draft capital wise, stacking wise. Yeah, that's a good looking team.
Yeah, I like it. Maybe going back in time, the only thing I would amend is taking Hunter Goodman out, getting an extra pitcher there, and then that's about it. Just the way we allotted capital. But outside of that, I think a very strong team. It's unfortunate that the Royal stack is so expensive because if you could just save one round in there with the Miguel Garcia pick, but if that thing goes right, I mean it's going to go right in a big way. So yeah, they were what was it 2 years ago? They were the only lineup in baseball that had their 3, 4, and 5 hitters with 100 RBIs by the All-Star break, each with 100 RBIs by the All-Star break. So turn the hands of time forward to this year, and they're all better, stronger now. Well, let's get it.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, let's get me one more bullet here in the dinger. We got the 1-7. So going to be kind of similar pocket of the draft board that we were just in.
We're gonna have to do something different this time if we're looking at Bobby Witt.
Yeah, I'm gonna float you a little idea here. How about this?
I know. I can. One can only wonder. Let's do it though. If it comes down to it.
Well, okay. What is your? I know you like Tucker here. I would float that nobody's doing the Julio
Cal, do that.
Like whatever. You want to do it?
Yeah, we're gonna do a super stack, Pete. You like stacking?
I sure do, brother.
Yeah. Take Julio.
All right.
Julio Rodriguez could flirt with an MVP, really good defense, 30-30 candidate. Wouldn't surprise anybody if he's, it would surprise someone if he won the MVP, but if he's like third or fourth in MVP voting this year, it wouldn't surprise anybody.
Also, shout out MacNova. Thank you for the super chat. Pleasure drafting with you boys. MacNova spending some of that DK Millie on solo shot drafts on Underdog. There you go.
Right. That's right. Yeah, someone was talking about in the chat earlier, or it was Purple Yosh. Like right now, one of the more like fun things happening in drafts is like it's similar to the NFL, where at the end of the summer we know who's on the team and we know like who's going to be starting and things like that. We know who the healthy pitchers are and we know who's made the team. And, in that same dynamic, like we know who's on the team. A lot of really young, exciting pitchers like don't go drafted still that like made rotations that I think are like really, really fun to draft late. One of them who isn't necessarily in the rotation yet, but has a chance is that kid Didi Fuentes from the Braves with this Strider injury. Like he might just get a look right away as opposed to starting in the bullpen like he is right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's like 21 years old or something. He's crazy.
Yeah, he's gonna be a hot ad in the season long streets, like as like a stash and see what happens kind of guy. Or
he's 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, super fun.
So Bobby Witt did go at 6, and you guys were kind of saying that this is kind of like the push pull of Bobby Witt, just a much better pick in a vacuum, but Schwarber goes because of the wide receiver run or wide receiver outfield run.
No, it's the same thing. Yeah.
All right, we're about to pick here. So you said super stack. Are we pulling up another Mariner?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Right,
John is absolutely right. Nobody's doing this. Yep.
And and I assume Cal never falls back to 31. That's why you
basically not. Yeah, he's he just lives at the corner with Ohtani. Like if you're gonna look at combinatorial ownership in the tournament, Cal is gonna be with Aaron Judge or Ohtani like 85% frequency.
Yeah,
like
quite often.
Dead ass, never gets pulled up, never goes down. He hit 60 home runs last year as a catcher. Like, I don't know, man. He was second in MVP. Like, it can't be that bad. But like, if he regresses and falls off and goes back to like 35 home runs or whatever, he's 1,100 points in the second round from an infield position, which is like, okay, maybe that's not going to win us. But if it breaks right as last year and you're the only person showing up with this 3-man, you're laughing, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick. I'm gonna pull this question up for you guys here on stream. LED, how are you guys handling Wheeler, Green, Strider, etc.?
Yeah, so Strider, I said earlier, would be like my SP50 whatever, and I think I would take Snell ahead right now, but it's really close between like those two. Like the Sheehan, Snell, and Strider would be like a really interesting combo. Hunter Green's basically off my board, but if he's available like 18th onward and he's my 7th or 8th pitcher, I'm fine with it. But I had so many Hunter Green bags from before that I'm just kind of like off it. And then Wheeler, I've gotten a little bit more bullish of, but I actually think the timeline of Garrett Cole is slightly better than Wheeler, and you can get him like 4 rounds later. So I leaned into the Cole stuff a little bit more than the Wheeler stuff, but I'm fine with Wheeler.
Yeah, I am, like John said, out on Green, out on Strider right now, and I was taking a lot of Green and Strider early, so that sucks. Wheeler, I'm still really scared of, man. Like, thoracic outlet syndrome is no joke, and I think he's progressing faster than I've seen anybody progress through this diagnosis. So I have some worries, but he's pitching in the minors, like he's actually playing in some form of professional baseball, so he's definitely on the rise. All right, we got Randy.
Is this Rand? This is the super stack plan.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is the thesis.
How? Explain it, again, because I have to naturally tie everything to football because these are just like randomized digits on the screen to me. I always got squeamish. Like I remember the ages where we were drafting like AJ Brown, Hurts, Devontae Smith, and you'd have to use your first 3 picks. Like what you need from those guys in like single game standpoint was always hard to kind of thread the needle of how the playoff gauntlet works. I'm assuming the dynamics with baseball are a little different with the super stacking early.
Yeah, because there's uncapped upside. There's no clock. So these guys could play for infinity if things are going well for them. So that's kind of like the difference in the super stack stuff that makes it more viable is like, hey, we're not only going to score 5 touchdowns in week 17 and only 2 of us can matter. It's like, oh, we could score like 50 runs this week, and they are like, in some instances even more, and like 10 plus in isolated games. And it's like, oh yeah, nobody's pairing them together and they all went nuke.
Yeah, that makes sense for sure. And it seems like Dat Mavis is pretty thrilled about drafting Mariners. We'll never know the second part of your super chat message here, but we are indeed drafting Mariners.
That was funny as hell.
Yeah, Nez. So like, cause John checks you on some of your Pirates homerism, check him. How much is this just John's Pac Nor homerism here versus a viable strategy?
It's definitely a homerism thing, but it is also like correct in the theory and the thesis of that, like you have to do this to get this stack. And these are good baseball players. And the only thing that you're really doing is pulling up the guy who hit 60 home runs last year. So I can't really poke holes in it.
All right. We are on the clock here, mid-4th. Are we still maxing?
Bryce Harper?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's the best pick on the board, like by a mile.
Let's do it. So yeah, Bryce Harper, another guy who has previously been a first round pick. Why is he going here because he was coming back from injury. Was it last year when we were drafting? He was kind of like a controversial pick as far as what you were going to get out of him, or was that
that been 2 years now?
Yeah.
Okay.
They've been doing this for a while.
Like they didn't know he had a UCL thing, and they didn't know if he'd be back by the halfway or if he'd be the same or that sort of thing. And then he wound up coming back like pretty early, and he was like a 10th round pick, and then wound up returning like, top 4 round value in only like half a season. Just really good hitter in a really good lineup.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
Mike says, haven't seen a single Red Sox drafted. Mike, you apparently didn't watch the first part of the stream because not only did I draft Red Sox, but I also drafted former Red Sox in Mookie Betts. So you got to wind back the tape, brother. My last draft accomplished basically everything I need in my baseball life.
It did smash.
Nez, did you, I mentioned it briefly and I know you tweeted it, but did you go full like Leo pointing meme when the O'Neal Cruz thing was mentioned on the pit?
I was cracking the hell up. I love the way that show like shoehorns Pittsburgh references in. Like,
Yeah.
they try so hard to get a Pittsburgh reference in, but like, I find I like it. It's fun.
And it's funny for it to be they obviously had to do it because this season is taking place on July 4th, so you're not gonna get football, but it would have been funny to. I'm now envisioning like a Aaron Rodgers anti-vax like scene
right
in the pit.
Yeah, Rodgers said I don't need the vax. Like,
yeah. The guy just not wanting to let go of the ball was so funny.
Yeah, he refused to let go of the ball, and they had to fix his dislocated elbow. It's kind of a gnarly scene. And not even that graphic, but definitely one of the more squeamish ones. But yeah, I went full Leo. Immediately asked if I wonder if O'Neal Cruz knows he was name dropped on the show. There's no way. But yeah, that was great.
Well, at least you can always remember it as the O'Neal Cruz episode and not the Ice episode. That's a more fun way to remember it.
Oh my God, man. We get it, guys. We know where you stand.
All right. We are about to pick in the 5th round. We got Cal Raleigh, Bryce Harper at infield, Julio Rodriguez, and Randy. How do you say his last name, Nez or John? Either of you?
Arozarena.
It sounds like the new Latin spinoff to Gil's Arena.
Nice. He's actually a super swag guy. Like, used to wear cowboy boots to the park and stuff like that. He's super swaggy.
All right, what are we doing here, fellas?
Let me float. Well, is O'Neal Cruz gone? Okay, yeah, he's gone.
He just went.
Just to float some different builds, like taking a starting pitcher would be fun, or doing the Neto and then doing Trout on the way back. What do you like, Nez?
Pitcher. I'd say Hunter Brown or Hunter Brown.
Okay, Brown.
Yep. Yeah, he's nasty.
Hunter Brown, come on down. 1 pitcher, 2 infielder, 2 outfielders. We are back to drafting the dinger. If you guys are tuning in late, we did draft the solo shot, single entry. And all of these contests are locking Wednesday night, 5:59 p.m. Eastern. So you have a little over 48 hours to get these in. The dinger is currently at 89.3% filled. I assume it's like a mortal lock that this is going to fill here at some point before the contest locks, with everybody piling in, and 200K up top this year. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Awesome stuff,
sick, man.
About 800 drafts left. That would be, I think, thereabouts. So plan accordingly.
Yeah.
The weird thing with baseball this year, so obviously WBC shifted timelines and stuff like that, but it's probably a good thing for fill rates for like the dinger and stuff, is years past we've had like an international series that in a vacuum nobody's cared about, because it's been like on at 3 a.m. in Japan or Korea or something like this, and then they come back and then they still play spring training games, and then the season has opening day. This year, really interesting that they did opening day as a one-off game in North America on Wednesday night, and then a full slate of games on the Thursday that are like the traditional staggered opening day. So different dynamic to opening day this year, where we actually get to finally draft up until actual first pitch, basically.
That is cool. All right, we're about to pick in the 6th. Obviously, outfield getting thinned out there. Altuve matches with Houston. We also have some aces up here. What do you guys think?
I don't do a ton of Webb, but if he comes back to you here, I think I would just take Webb.
He did come back. We are on the clock.
Yeah. Yeah, I love Logan Webb. I was kind of talking about this on No Strip, where like his price increased, and he was so good last year that like I don't know that it can be as good as last year, but he's like Framber Valdez in that like he's a quality start monster, plays in a good park, pitches smart, and goes deep into games anytime that he starts. He's a good. The only other pitcher I would have gone is Logan Gilbert, because I think Logan Gilbert probably has a higher ceiling, but Webb is just so freaking consistent that you really can't go wrong. But I like Logan Gilbert for the ceiling.
Logan Webb really reinvented himself, and it's like hard for people to grapple with, because he was a ground ball, like only kind of guy in a really good home park for years. And then all of a sudden he leads the NL in strikeouts last year. And he's been a strikeout guy for 2 years now. And it's kind of like, well, we got to have some regression and meet in the middle on this profile, don't we? Like it feels like we're really buying the top because Logan Webb forever has lived in the SP20 range. Yeah, but that being said, the guys that go behind him, you can poke holes in. Like Logan Gilbert has a forearm strain, and that's a precursor for Tommy John. And there's, little things like this, like Dylan Cease moving to a worse park, Freddie Peralta moving environments. What's that going to do just in general? So there's little things you can poke holes in. And Webb at his price is not someone I'm super in on. But Webb, when he falls and he's put right beside this tier, you may as well take Webb.
Yep. Yeah. It's nice when he falls for sure. It just hurts me because he was always one of my highest drafted pitchers, and this year I'm way underweight. Logan.
He was like the best kept secret for a bit there, and now he's like, because people thought it was oatmeal-y, right? Like people thought it was very floory, and then
Then he put up 200 Ks like out of nowhere. Like okay, all right, young man.
So we got 2 pitchers, 2 infielders, 2 outfielders. Tope's asking, does the extra motivation of getting that bag for free agents to be play into your ranks? This is another NFL thing. Like contract chasing is a very fun conversation standpoint and what it means for their fantasy outlook.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't done a ton of research or thought process on it. It's not something for me. Like I think it's always something that gets like normie narrative overblown. That being said, it's probably very true for certain players and certain people. I don't know if like a guy like Logan Webb would fit that mold or not, even if that's what he's referring to. I don't know when his contract's up, but like a little bit longer in the tooth vet guy who's probably just going to stay in San Francisco the rest of his life. I don't think he's like the bag chasing archetype.
And for pitchers, it's way less of a thing. Like it's way more of a thing for hitters where they might run more.
Right.
Or like try to hit their way out of town or something like that.
Naylor pitchers, at the end of last year.
Well, Naylor's is way more interesting because like Naylor stole after he got traded.
Yeah, but didn't have the contract yet, and then got the contract.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Okay.
All right. We are about to pick in the middle of the 7th. We got some outfielders hanging around on the board. Altuve has fallen now a full round. What do you guys like?
Yeah, I like the Altuve fall here because we want to address outfield here, I think.
Yeah, I would say Altuve. I would be between him and Luzardo, but let's do Altuve.
Okay.
Luzardo's been a victim of circumstance for me, just based on like where I see tiers and stuff like that I haven't wound up with a ton of Luzardo. I mean, it's interesting. They obviously dealt for him. He pitched really well. We've always talked about Luzardo's ceiling for years. But they effectively decided to keep him instead of Ranger and go with like that being enough, right? Like they could have re-signed Ranger and they were like, no, we got these 2 lefties at the top. We're good without Ranger. So that was kind of like a inadvertently bullish thing for him. But yeah, I don't know, man. He's so volatile that I look at this like tier and I just always gravitate to, well, at least I've seen extreme right tail from Sale and DeGrom. And if it's not those 2, it's Valdez because he's so safe in my mind.
Yeah, I guess like we did see extreme right tail like last year from Luzardo. It was absurdly good. And I trust the org in Philly. Like I think Luzardo is a pretty exciting ceiling shot, given his stuff, given the organization. The part could be better, but I think he's just pretty cheap. But we'll see. He might come back, but I doubt it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we go. Who are the other, like, since we last did the show a few weeks ago, have there been any massive risers and fallers, or is stuff pretty sticky?
I think stuff is pretty sticky, but I think there's like common known principles now that are like within our community that are like risers and fallers. So like the ones that were alluded to in the chat earlier, like the the Wheeler, the Strider, the Hunter Green, like those have been big time fallers, but their ADPs don't fully reflect it yet. And then the big time risers have been like Matt McClain,
South Stewart, even like both those guys
South,
rose quite a bit.
Yeah. Why am I blanking on the Detroit prospect?
Kevin McGonigal.
McGonigal has been like a riser. He's getting some like Connor Griffin steam.
Oh, nice.
Luzardo comes back. The hater says it wasn't possible.
I like it.
All right. Here we go.
I like it.
Yeah, very strong start to the pitching staff here.
Yeah,
Kyle Stowers, there's another one that we were just talking about. As you see, he's falling in these rooms. He's going to miss the first 4 to 6 weeks, so people kind of tempering their expectations with him.
Yeah, that's not good. That's a pretty serious hamstring strain for a guy that plays for a bad team in a bad park.
Yep, and has a very tough playoff schedule.
Right.
Yeah, Mets, Dodgers, etc.
Are we 1 year away, MLB best ball blowing up to where we create the official ADP Chasing spinoff for MLB, tracking ADP changes, charts week to week, Davis speaking confidently about rotations?
There's a market.
There's definitely a market for it. It's unfortunate the timing and overlap of where the season goes. I think maybe we're leaning in the direction of NBA being closer to that, where we never stop NBA season because it runs parallel to NFL drafting season. I think it'd be hard pressed to have an MLB audience carry like that when you're talking about it in November and everybody's like, who the hell do I play? Who the hell do I play in week 12 or whatever? And we're like, hey man, let's get those 2 points of value on Mike Burrows rising,
Thank you, Sags. I'm much better at remembering to service the audio listeners with NFL drafts. So thank you for the reminder here. We got 3 pitchers, Hunter Brown, Logan Webb, and then we just, Jesus Luzardo at pick 90. 2 infielders here, Cal Raleigh and Bryce Harper. And then we have our Seattle super stack there at outfield with Julio Rodriguez and Randy Arozarena. And then we just added Jose Altuve as well at pick 79. Now we got a pick here at the 103rd spot in the draft.
This team is beautiful, and the 1v1 of like moving Cal Raleigh 8 spots is like the only thing we did different, and we got that value back in the double pitcher fall. Like it's crazy, man. And it's like to think that like Cal's not in the same tier, like a guy who just hit 60 as like Gunnar Henderson is like, okay, what are we doing here? Right. Mm-hmm. So it's like, it's pretty crazy that we did something that was like a contrarian move, but like it all just makes way too much sense here.
Sort by outfield, Pete.
Yep.
Any of these top 4 guys, who would you rather do instead?
Well, if you're going to do this, I'd do Cowser, but I'd probably just take William Contreras at the top.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
Go Contreras. Go Contreras.
Nez starting to get a little spooked about our outfield depth here.
A little bit.
I think one of them will come back to us. You look at the side beside us, and it's 5 outfielder, 5 outfielder, 4 outfielder, 3 outfielder. Like I think in 10 picks, one of those 5, not all of those 5 are going to go.
Yeah, I was trying to get outfield done with pretty soon, but we're going to extend that just a little bit longer.
I like to live dangerously.
Yeah, we know.
John said he got his 2 Mariners bats and said, we're good. We're good. Log off.
They're starting for us every day in this hypothetical world of this lineup smashing, Pete. So let's build like we're right.
I love it.
Ooh, we got some big time NBA news coming down the pipeline right now.
Major. Yeah.
Yeah. IQ out, Pirtle out. Colin Murray Boyles with a Q tag. This is a sloppy slate today.
Yeah, it's a tough one, but it just got way more fun.
It did get more fun for sure. Yeah.
Like I see that news and I think Scotty to the moon.
Yeah, small ball Scotty lineups.
Small ball and big Scotty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
small ball.
Like, yeah.
Oh, bless the right-hand side of the draft board for staying in their outfield lanes after spending their capital accordingly. And now we're going to get I'm a big proponent of this pick here. I don't want to say it just in case Real Football is listening here, but like we had him queued up before. I think he's probably I like Willer, but I think he's probably my favorite of that tier.
Cowser.
Yeah. Dude, like
I've
what
been
if he
sleeping
just
on Cowser?
What if he just takes the Westberg leading off everyday role?
Yeah, I don't know why I'm so light on him. Let's take him.
Cowser?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice playoff schedule, as I alluded to before, too, and a lot of backstack Baltimore options that are like the price of poker's going up on them, but like they're still quote unquote free relative to market.
In round 9, we add William Contreras at pick 103, come back and get another outfielder, Colton Cowser at 114, 3-3-4 as we head into the back half of this draft.
Yeah, so my thought was doing like a 7-7-6 with this team and grabbing, our 5 and 6 outfielders, like, ASAP kind of, and leaning into those young, exciting pitchers because we have 3 studs that we're counting on big time, and we can kind of just throw ceiling shots around them and hope that come playoff time, we run pure on those guys. Plus, out infield is, evergreen, a good pick anytime you're on the clock.
Mm-hmm.
Chat's asking about a hoop stream today. Are there any Membies only or anything? Are you guys?
I thought about it, but we still got some family stuff going on today. We're hosting a party for the leftovers from the wedding, the out-of-towners today. So I was going to try and sneak one in, but I think it would be in my best interest not to. So we'll be back for hoop stuff tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
There you go.
Let me sell you this pen. Is this something you might be interested in, Nez? Is this something you might be interested in here? What if I told you the Mariners played their last 3 games of the year with this Super Mariner stack in Sacramento? Is that something you might be interested in? The 3 best Mariners hitters in the best home run hitting environment in baseball? Is that a guy who hit 60 home runs? Is he worth a 3-pick ADP increase when he's playing in Sacramento for the last games of the season?
A trio you will never be able to get on the same team on a daily slate. Okay, all right, yeah. Well done.
So is Coors Field no longer the most home run friendly park?
So we're gonna get nerdy on you. Yeah, we're gonna get nerdy. I
would love to. Well, let's make this pick.
It's not a home run environment. It's a run scoring environment.
Gotcha.
Pitcher? These are really good pitchers.
But let's run it back with Doyle. I mean, Burns or King is good, but when we got the fall on the other 3 and it's all purple on the board, I don't really care which one comes back, and I would just do Doyle again. But it's up to you guys. You pick.
No, I didn't. I wasn't really trying to do. Like, I didn't expect to have this pitcher value, but yeah. So Coors plays really well because it's a big park. So it's actually they try to make it harder to hit home runs because of the the environmental factors. So it's a bigger park, which leads to more extra base hits because there's more places to put a batted ball. And obviously all the other factors that go into how fast the ball gets hit off the bat because of the environments there. Pitching is worse at the park because the ball has less air to grip, so it doesn't move quite as much. All those factors make Coors like a run-scoring environment, but there's not actually more home runs hit there. Sacramento is a home run hitting environment, and it's not because it's a small park, but it's because around the stadium, it's a minor league ballpark. So there aren't big structures like you see with major league ballparks that prevent wind flow. Plus, it's hot as shit in Sacramento. So you get big time heat and you get major wind flow into the stadium that affects batted balls. And then you get a lot of home runs. So it's kind of like a more coveted spot than Coors, like low key.
It's this Sutter Health Park. That's what I'm looking at here.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, this does look very rinky-dink in the outfield.
Yeah.
And if there's something else to be excited about with this lineup here, Baltimore and Colorado, who are our last 2 picks there, at Colorado for the start of the first week of the finals.
All right.
My goodness.
There you go. Man, yeah, there have to be like 50 college stadiums that are more impressive than this park.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like hands down.
Okay. We are about to be on the clock in the 12th. We did just take Doyle, trying to catch up at outfielder with the Altuve, Cowser, Doyle picks here. You liked all the purple on the board. That really got wiped out.
All right. It's my turn to make a pick that John doesn't like.
All right, let's get it.
Jung-Hoo Lee.
All right. John, say why you don't like it, and then Nez can defend it.
You know what? It's kind of growing on me a little bit, and I've mixed it in a couple times once I saw how high Easy was on some of the Giants stuff, and like he'll just kind of be a drag along guy. He's just very oatmeal-y, where it's just like he's an average guy and an on-base guy, and those are just archetypes of guys that I don't look for. I'd rather sacrifice total hits for power outliers just for individual week scoring. But I get it, and it's he's a really high drafted player of Vlad Settlers, who I really respect at FDN. So I'm coming around on this play. But yeah, Nez, why do you like it?
It's just a good pick. It's just like if he's healthy, it's just like a very, very good pick for an outfield 6, like where outfield is so expensive and people clamor for outfield points, where like Jung-Hoo Lee's leading off like every day in a good lineup. Yeah, he's going to score points for you, and he's your last outfielder. Like you can like wipe your hands clean and feel pretty good about your outfielder room, knowing that it's rounded out with Jung-Hoo Lee, where like you're getting points. Like if the guys that we took shots on, Doyle and Cowser, aren't coming through with their spike weeks, well, Lee's going to be there to pick up the slack, and he'll be in our lineup like when the points are tallied weekly, like pretty often. He's going to be putting up points for us pretty often, but the ceiling, like John said, is probably capped.
All right, let's hit a few questions in the chat. More scheduling requests from you guys. Will there be an opening day stream, assuming lock is noon Eastern?
Yeah, like 100%. We'll just have to figure out how the slate breakdowns are and that sort of thing. But yes, Thursday and or Wednesday evening we'll be committed to that, and we'll make sure of it.
All right, let's get this pick in, and then we can hit a few more questions. What direction should we go here, fellas? 336 through 13.
I kind of like taking a little upside shot at one of the pitching arms here, or you could stack Jeremy Pena with Altuve.
Yeah, which pitcher do you want to go get Glass now since he's looking healthy?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna do 7 pitchers, I think. So let's just like throw Glass now in on here, and since we know we're gonna have bodies around him if he's not healthy.
Yeah.
Is Glass now he been a little bit of a riser relative to his ADP?
Not really.
He was actually he was a faller early, because like the thing about Glass now is I'm trying to think of a comp. Maybe like the lazy comp would be like Bayshell Tootin last year, but like where it's like everyone knows the ceiling of this breaking right is like insane and amazing. It's just it rarely breaks right, but when he's on a daily slate and he's pitching that isolated day, he's the best pitcher on the slate, bar none, always, kind of thing. So it's very weird because he's never put it together for like a full season. But on like a night-to-night basis, he rivals that of the DeGroms, the Striders, the Logan Webbs on a night-to-night. But the problem is we're probably only going to get 20 starts from him this year. And we really need a strong pitching core at the top to then balance that out. And we have that on this roster. So it makes a lot of sense. It's like you don't want to build the whole whatever the phrase is, like build the whole plane out of like guys like these. But when you can take it, it's like it's such a high ceiling shot.
Yeah, I was shocked to see that he's like throwing in minor league games right now. I didn't think that he was even on that track. So I thought that was really bullish. Yeah, he's only ever thrown 134 max, and he's 32 years old. So that's the obvious knock. But yeah, if you get him healthy when it matters, like that's pretty sick.
Yeah, like the comps in the chat are kind of fun, like Matthew
CMC.
Golden if he hit ceiling, or like just CMC on a start. CMC is like the true like start to start basis.
Yeah.
All right, we're about to be on the clock at 14-6. We got 4 pitchers, 3 infielders, 6 outfielders. Who are we looking at here?
I'd probably stack a Houston bat now. Both of them.
Oh
came
yeah,
back
Jeremy Pena for sure.
Do you like Pena more than Christian Walker?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, he had an outlier year last year, but it wasn't his first good year, but it was really good. Yeah, I just think he might just be good at baseball, and so yeah, I'm starting to take this guy more. He's 28.
Good omen on Jeremy Pena, friend of the program here by proxy. Connor, the guy that we went to the football game with, worked out with him the other day because he was up here. His wife's from BC and plays on the women's national soccer team, and she's born in this vicinity. So Pena's been working out here at one of the gyms that they all go to.
And that's good?
Yeah, it's Italian, baby. He's healthy.
I swear to God, Connor's like the most. Every time, like, I feel like you have a story for. Does he just travel around America every single weekend? I swear to God, he's somewhere new every time you tell a story.
Yeah, so he's bouncing between like KC, Denver, Indy, and LA right now. And then he just loves sports and loves to draft games and loves girls and stuff like that. So he tries to go to all these fun places to be on his like time off. So he'll stagger like before coming home for a weekend or something like that. He's like, I'll just pop into LA for like 3 days and then pop back. And yeah, he's
what order of those things? You know, girls, draft games, traveling.
I don't know, man. You guys can attest that he was throwing in like showdown lineups when we were going to the game when none of us were like thinking about it. So,
that's true.
Yeah. I think the girls might be at the top of the chart now as a recent divorcee.
There you go. Good for him.
He had like one of the funniest dating stories I've ever heard of, like sitting in front, went to a game, and then it was his ex or a girl he had dated's parents were sitting behind him at the game, and just like hearing everything he's saying on a new date was pretty incredible.
Oh man. I did not hear that. That's something out of a TV show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, here for our audio crew, 4-4-6, we got Hunter Brown, Logan Webb, Luzardo, and Glasnow. Now at pitcher, still rocking our 4 infielders: Cal Raleigh, Bryce Harper, Contreras, and Jeremy Pena. And then we got our 6 outfielders: Julio, Randy, Jose Altuve, Cowser, Doyle, and Hung Hoo Lee.
Dude, this team slaps right now.
Yeah, this is a very fun team.
I'm gonna let's make this pick, and then I was gonna float some ideas out there. Where does your mind go here, Nez?
Probably, I mean, Jackson Holiday for the stack. There he goes. Shane McClanahan. But that might be just like too much of the same cloth of glass now.
I'm good with that. Yeah, Flannelverse has an interesting one there. Neil's talking about Justin Steele. Like Justin Steele's timeline's low-key kind of nice too, but I don't draft hurt pitchers, but he's working his way back. Encouraging to see.
Holiday and Wilson go. We are OTC.
Yeah, I all 3 of these guys are like a little bit of ceiling, but a little bit of injury risk alongside it. But McClanahan's the healthiest of the bunch. I'd lean in on McClanahan here.
Yeah, we are getting a little risky, but this pitching room is just like all upside, and it's kind of fun.
All right,
and I think that trend's going to continue.
Yeah, it's really stabilized by those front 3 though. You know, like those are ceiling plus floor, and now we're taking some darts in the middle. And then, yeah, it's interesting how you land this plane, because you could go 8 and just take a bunch of ceiling arms, or you could go 7 and we take like a little bit of oatmeal at the end, or what feels like oatmeal, like you add a Chris Bassett to a rotation like this or something like that, you know?
All right, I let it go the first 4 times, but oatmeal is your new favorite word.
Oh, it's an Enoceras thing, and it's just such a great descriptive word of like the eat your vegetables, like take your medicine archetype of players. So it's not mine and it's adopted, but it's been around for a long time, and it's kind of like derogatory but non-derogatory, like, you know what I mean, where it's just kind of like it's a wink in MLB fantasy baseball circles.
Okay. I'm kind of disappointed. I was hoping it was more like a Johnism, like the juxtaposed. What are some of the other classics here? Push pull. It's a good John one.
With the hand gestures.
Gotta have the hand gestures.
Yeah. All right, we got 5 more picks there. Nez, what did you say our target was for pitchers? We're at 5 here.
Yeah, I was gonna say 7. I didn't take into account too that this draft people like we had some auto drafters in the solo shot, so that was kind of like speeding things up for you. I hope we're not like taking.
It's all right. We'll be okay.
Okay.
Trying to cram in a ton of things before my trip here, but I'm fairly on top of stuff right now.
Is this a little spring break vacation here? Is that what's going down, or where are you? Yeah,
spring break with a toddler.
Right on.
Yeah, exactly.
So where are you guys headed? I actually missed this.
Going down to Florida, down to the Keys, and
awesome.
Excited to just bop around, do the pool, do some activities. Should be good.
Amazing, dude.
Yeah. So you guys will, because I will be gone. I'll be coming back next Tuesday. I think we might just miss. Obviously, you guys can run a show, but we'll probably miss off and on the clock next week, the 3 of us together. And then we'll get – someone was asking about another dance show, which we should definitely do after that before those contests log.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be fun to revisit.
Yeah.
Okay. About to pick at 16-6. John has a name he's excited about, it looks like.
Yeah, we got to scroll here. I think this is where we do the double Baltimore thing, and we just get crazy with it, dude. We take Samuel right here.
Basalo?
You take Basalo, and then you take Adley with the next one, and you get this cheeky Baltimore backstack. I mean, just taking one of them is fine with Kowser, but he's been a big riser, so jump on that with the slappies and figure it out.
There it is.
Who are some other names that come to mind here with this roster, Nez? Like, who would you be thinking of right now?
Infield wise, did Aranda go? I take Aranda quite a bit right now. I've been doing a lot of Paredes too. Like, I just think Paredes is just going to play. They're going to find a way for him to play every day. He's too good for them not to in the Astros lineup. And there was just so much expected about Paredes going into the dinger that like people thought for sure he was going to get moved, and they just never got moved. Like, they're not going to bench Paredes. Like, he's a very, very, very good hitter. He's going to hit like 3 for them, you know? Like, I think it's going to look very silly in hindsight that like we were not drafting more Isak. He's like undrafted. So he's been like my darling right now.
I like that. That fits our roster really well too.
Yeah. They got him hitting 2.
Yeah.
But Pena will probably slot in at 2, and maybe he hits cleanup after or something. I don't know. Yeah,
because when Pena comes back, he plays short. Correa plays third, and then that kind of pushes Isak somewhere else.
Yeah, but they're gonna put Altuve in the outfield.
Yeah, he's taken every rep at second base this spring, though.
They're gonna have to put him in the outfield.
He's negative WAR second base too. Like, he's like bad. Defensive run saves are awful.
You just have to.
All right, here. So what other things should be on our radar for these last 4 picks?
2 pitchers, 2 infielders, and probably look into some of those stackability targets, and then looking for maybe 1 ceiling, 1 floor in no particular order there.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I've got a lot of fun pitchers in mind, but
Sure.
we can see what's there because it might not hurt. Like we might have to make one of these pitchers straight floor. Like if we wanted to go Bassett here and just lock up innings, given this staff, like it'd probably make sense. Or we're on stream and we could have some fun and take some rookies.
Ooh, Brendan Donovan goes.
Are we getting that other Baltimore guy? Or are we doing something else here?
He'll be there.
Yeah,
Okay.
he'll be there.
All right, what do you want to get?
Oh man, there's some really fun pitchers available.
I'd take Ceiling Snell. That's what I would do.
All right, let's go Snell. Yeah, that's a big ball for him.
Snell's like the same as Glasnow, Pete, where it's like you just kind of buy into the fact that he's only going to give you 110, 120 innings or whatever, but they're going to be elite. Snell has a little bit more volatility in the profile, especially early in the season. But man, that dude locks in like July onward every single year, and he's like top 10 pitcher in baseball for the last 2 months of the season and pushing into the postseason.
Nice.
This is a really fun staff. Like,
I mean, you get a Cy Young winner in the 17th round because he might not throw as much as the other guys. And it's like, well, most of these guys at this back end like have paths to only having 100 innings anyways. Why not take the Cy Young caliber innings?
Right.
So 656 with 3 more picks. So you're saying probably for sure one more pitcher.
Yeah, probably a vegetables pitcher and then 2 infielders that stack.
And one of them we kind of already know.
Yeah. Brad has a fun question there. Actually, Neil has one too. He's asking about Giancarlo Stanton's ADP. Like, he's a guy that I've been kind of like soft fading, but like in the weekly scoring playoff format, like on a night to night basis, when it comes to home runs, like he's the Tyler Glasnow of the skill positions, right? Where it's like he's going to play 450 innings, but he's going to hit 30 tanks. And if you can just encapsulate those at the right time, they're worth so much. So I think it's probably a lack of understanding of the scoring format and a macro lens thing on the redacted site. And the UD guys going, yeah, but if he's healthy in a good matchup for the end of the season, like who can hit 4 home runs, 5 home runs in a week faster than he can?
Yeah. Yeah, Pete, have you heard anything about like how his elbow injury, elbows injuries? He said he couldn't open a bag of chips.
Wow.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound good.
No, but he was like the best hitter on the Yankees last year though when he was in. Like it was.
Did someone say, well, luckily for you, baseball doesn't involve opening a bag of chips, so get back out there and play?
When I heard that, I'm like, I was coping so hard. I'm like doing like, okay, like what muscles am I using here versus like here? Like how is it okay?
All right, what do we want to do here, fellas?
I'd probably take Adley Rutschman now. Paredes is fine as well. Who do you like, Nez?
Yeah, we can do Adley. I was gonna suggest just getting the vegetables and Bassett, but
okay, do Bassett then. That's fine. We already
Bassett
got
won't be there.
Yep, sure.
Okay. So we get so you're saying he kind of helps offset our more volatile Dodgers pitching selection.
Yeah. Bassett like never misses time. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, all that stuff. But he's thrown over 180 innings since 2022. 170 innings since 2022. Pretty good. Like safe ERA. Not going to give you a lot of strikeouts, but he'll be out there.
Yep. All right, there we go. Charlie is stoked.
Oh, Adley went. Now I feel bad. I didn't think he was going to go, dude. He like never goes.
Well,
we're good.
You know the stream rules. Once a player is discussed on stream, their ADP just changes. Yeah.
No, it's true.
Brad's got an interesting list of pitchers there. Do you guys? Yeah. I think I like Abel the best of that group. I've drafted Abel and I've drafted Grant Holmes. I know Savali's been rising, but like, what's the quality start and win equity on like the worst team in baseball? So like, I've kind of been off of it. Liberatore, kind of same idea with that. Plus, he doesn't get strikeouts, so I'm out. Max Meyer has a nice home park, but has an awful schedule and is a shutdown early candidate. I guess Jacob Lopez kind of stands out, but I've been taking Abel and Holmes. Who have you been taking, Nez?
Abel and a little bit of Parker Messick. No Liberatore, no Grant Holmes, a little bit of Cade. I think Cade is pretty interesting. Yep. Like, yeah, he's on a bad team. Like, understood. He's a 20th round pick that doesn't go every time, so it offsets that. But like, he's only 27, and like came back and had some pretty good starts when he did return. Might be kind of like low key nice. Like,
you know who I always think of when I read his name?
Who?
It is Slade Ciccone on part of that trade for, what was it, the Brandon Pfaadt trade originally, and then he was part of the Naylor trade last year.
Yeah.
I'd rather take Slade than Cade.
Damn,
okay. Esoc goes. Chili just trolling out. Oh, he did the Cam Smith stack.
Okay, well now we gotta get to thinking here. Let's look at some infielders here real quick.
Yep.
Will Smith still. There's some really good ones right at the top.
Dude, is anybody thinking Michael Toglia this year?
You might. I would bet he has no ADP.
What about Nolan Jones? Nobody's taking Nolan Jones this year.
I actually forgot about Nolan Jones.
Are there any other stacking considerations? We got Houston. We got Baltimore.
We still could do a Houston stack.
We got Altuve and Pena.
The least sexiest pick in the world would be Luis Arias here to put with Jung Ho Lee.
Yeah, can you? Is it possible?
He just went, or he's gone.
He's gone.
Yeah, thank God. I can't believe you of all people suggested that.
What about Bryson Stott with Harper? Like Stott?
Okay, that can work.
Okay, little Philly infielder here for our second to last pick.
Yep.
All right. We'll add Stott. So we're at a 7-6-6 here heading into our final selection.
Yeah, I think it's infielder of the contrarian variety that can pop in a stack. Carlos Correa.
Yeah, I would like Correa, I think, for the stack.
Yeah. Cole Young.
Is he on the team?
Yeah, he's gonna play second base.
All right. Okay. That's fun.
Yeah, Cole Young will be like a percentage owned.
Oh yeah, like 2.
It'll be like that year that I got the Luke Raley team to the finals. The only difference, Sam Olsen wins, and we were like 1 and 2 for the first week, and I was like, watch out, Olsen. Who comes Luke Raley in week 2 of the playoffs. Luke Raley did not come along. He did not do anything.
We got someone trying to pick up the mantle from Eggers, saying you have a lot of dust ball infielders here. Peep down, Peanut Gallery.
Love it. Nice to meet the consigliere in person.
Yeah,
man. I know.
Fun.
Meet your trolls in person.
Never meet your trolls. No, it's never meet your heroes. Definitely meet your trolls in person.
Definitely meet your
All right. Who'd you say we're landing this plane with?
Nez has one of his favorites on the board there. If you just want to do a one-off. Manzardo, yeah.
Yeah, let's just do
guy?
Manzardo. Yeah. Manzardo's good at baseball, man. People are concerned because the husk of Rhys Hoskins made the team. Yeah, Manzardo's really good, dude.
All right, because I got to get out of here. Here's the final rundown. Got to get your guys' thoughts. 7 pitchers: Hunter Brown, Logan Webb, Lazardo, Glasnow, McClanahan, Blake Snell, and Chris Bassett. Our infielders: Cal Raleigh, Bryce Harper, Contreras, Jeremy Pena, Basallo, Bryson Stott, and Kyle Manzardo. And our outfield: Julio, Randy Arozarena, Altuve, Cowser, Doyle, Young Hoo Lee. How did we do?
I like this team.
Yeah, we built 2 very cromulent teams in terms of balanced profiles, but have big right tails when things break right. But can definitely get you in the dance, even if things don't run perfect.
Yeah, this is the dinger team. The last one was for sure the solo shot team. This is a dinger team. This is how you go out and get it.
Yeah.
All right. There it is. Let the people know your guys' rest of your schedule here for this week.
Yeah, back tomorrow.
Yeah, we're
tomorrow.
Do our thing as the week goes on here. We'll probably try and sneak in at least one more dinger there, but we'll do hoops tomorrow. Wednesday, maybe sneak in our last dinger alongside some hoops. And then Thursday will be opening day. So
wow.
Tons of multiple content. Day. Yeah.
It is here. Make sure you guys, if you're just watching this on my channel, make sure you guys are subscribed to the Badge Bros channel. That's where you'll be able to find all of those other daily breakdowns for MLB, hoops, all of that good stuff. Like I mentioned a few times, I'm going to be out for the next week. If you want one last look at me before Pete vacation mode is engaged, you can watch the Swolecast here at 3 p.m. Eastern. Otherwise, everybody enjoy drafting, enjoy MLB season, all that good stuff. And we'll get back in the saddle next week sometime. For Nez, for John, I'm Pete. This has been Off and On the Clock. Peace.